Hi guys, today we're going to talk about veg and non-veg food. So basically, everybody knows vegetarian food is 100% good and non-vegetarian food is not up to the mark. But certainly, I also feel the same. But then, there are disadvantages of not having proper food on time. So whether it's a veg or non-veg, it doesn't matter. But most importantly, be careful whenever you buying a non-veg food like chicken, mutton, or beef, or any food. Make sure that it is properly farmed or it is being brought from a very good background, right? Without that, simply don't go ahead and buy any chicken or mutton from anywhere. And most importantly, I believe egg is something which works like a wonder. Every day one must have egg compulsory. And however, there are some disadvantages if you don't understand science behind eating a veg and non-veg. Simply, if you are having high diabetes, or you have high BP or low BP, or you have some problem, health problem like thyroid or cancer or anything like that. The most important thing you have to understand is our body has something like immunity power which will automatically fight with any disease. So any person who is having any kind of a disease, doesn't matter if you don't have good immunity, obviously you will start losing a lot of age. So you'll go probably you die early. So the most important thing what you have to keep in mind is what should I eat when you have a problem. So today, if you ask me, I thank to God that I don't have any diseases, and even there are some minor accidents which I went through, and probably major accidents, but I recovered well. So here in this process, I say the same thing to everybody that if you are having a underlying diseases, you have a family history of diseases, please don't eat mutton, chicken lot, because that actually suppresses your immunity power. Apart from that, you are prone to take a lot of steroids or tablets to compress your health issues. So here, when you start taking any kind of a drug, it will automatically ruin your immunity power. You are depending on some other drug to control your disease. And apart from that, if you start eating non-vegetarian food, I don't think it will, it is a good idea, because you're again putting yourself into more problem, right? I call this stage as a pichku. Pichku stage is that you are in a pathetic stage that you are not able to overcome your own problem. So remember that you have to have a control on your food. It doesn't matter. So I always categorize veg and non-veg food apart based on your age. And most important factor is non-veg food, never buy from anywhere until unless you are 100% sure that this non-veg is coming from a good farm and is a good background. Then go ahead and buy it. Otherwise, please don't buy. Resist yourself. Eat one egg, right? The most important thing I always believe is properly cooked. Whenever you buy a non-veg, it should be cooked thoroughly. If it's not cooked, then it's a raw meat, man. You're eating just a raw meat. What's the difference between raw meat and a meat, a cooked meat? See, basically, even animals eat. I mean, all the animals obviously eat. Other animals. So here, what happens is they eat raw meat, and you might notice a lot of animals don't have much age. They die at probably 7 years, 10 years, maximum 14 years they die. So here you have to always remember that if you compare it with the non-animal eating like elephants, cow, they eat just grass and all, but they have a very huge bulk body, and their immunity system is pretty big, and they live almost 30-40 years. So you should always keep in mind that vegetarian food is always healthy. And but when you eat non-vegetarian food, it is for you to understand that what you want to do. So say I want to do a professional bodybuilding, yeah, you can go to gym, do a lot of exercises. There you are burning your fat, and you need some good protein to immediately recover with that. So we recommend to eat chicken a lot, but that doesn't mean that you should really dependent on chicken. You can eat egg also. So vis-a-vis, I always believe people who are playing sports, who are playing tennis, you are going running, walking, or any kind of high athlete sports like kickboxing or a high jump, low jump, or anything like that. If they eat chicken, mutton, beef, do you think you have agility? You think you can have endurance? No, right? You cannot be quick fast. So if you want to be quick and fast, the most important thing is that you should control your diet a lot. So it is very important that you should never drink alcohol, you should never eat non-veg. Yes, it's never. So you should have so much control, and you should have a protein based food, non-vegetarian diet, eating a lot of lentils, and you should control yourself a lot. So this is what you have to understand, that to improve your speed, agility, endurance, you should be a vegetarian, and vegetarian is superfood. I always believe vegetarian does miracle. Only for people who are weight loss, who don't have weight and they want to gain weight, please do eat non-vegetarian but very cooked food. And people who are having underlying diseases, don't eat it. And people who wants to do bodybuilding, yeah, you can go ahead and eat non-veg. So this is what you have to keep in mind. For you to do a simple office work sitting 8 to 10 hours, you don't need non-vegetarian boss. It is your diehard habit of not losing losing your bad habits. Please don't eat any kind of chicken, mutton, overeat. Alright, so people who are less weight, please go ahead and eat it. And I want to always suggest to people who are overweight, underweight, upper weight, or obese, or people who just do 8 to 9 hours work or more than that, just do 5 to 10 minutes of home and gym workout, which I already clipped in. So you can just go ahead and check it out and just do that and control your diet. I already spoke about BMI. I already spoke about a few of tips. Do care for them, and ask me if you have any doubts. Comment it. Please do subscribe. All right, take care. Have a nice day. Bye.